Welcome back to Leaving Cert Plus. This is lesson 1.9, our first lesson looking at quadratic functions. We're going to focus on the shape and also the landmarks associated with these functions. So first of all, quadratic, this is where your largest power on the x is 2. So x squared plus 4x minus 5 is an example of a quadratic function. Now I know the shape of this is going to be a smiley face, and the reason for that is because this is a positive x squared. So positive x squared leads to a smiley face. You want to think, I have a positive bank account, I'm happy. Now, if you had a negative x squared there, or you could have something like minus 3x squared, once this number before the x squared is negative, it's going to be a sad face. So negative bank account, you're sad. So positive bank account, you're happy. Negative bank account, you're sad. And that determines the shape of the graph. Looking at the landmarks then, well, first of all, the roots. This is where the function crosses the x-axis. So this would be a positive x squared. And where it crosses the x-axis, this guy going across the way, they're your roots. Where it crosses the y-axis is your y-intercept. And the y-intercept is really easy to find if we do have a function. So if we're given a function, maybe something like x squared plus 4x plus 5, well, I know the y-intercept there is going to be at 5. So that there is going to be 0, 5. So remember, your coordinate, your x value comes first and your y value second. Your y value is 5. That's your y-intercept 0, 5, because it's 5 by itself at the end. And if you think about this, if you're given a function, maybe f of x is equal to what we have up there, x squared plus 4x plus 5. Well, what are we saying? At this point, we're saying that the x value is 0 for sure, because it's along the y-axis. So therefore, we can just input 0 for our x value. And you're always just going to be left with that number at the end. So your answer there is 5. So that's your output 5 when you have an input of 0. So 0, 5 is that point at which it crosses the y-axis. So that's your y-axis intercept. Now your x-axis intercept, that's known as a root. So just a couple of questions really quickly. So I'd like you to pause the video and try part A and then try part B for each one of these functions. So sketch the shape you would expect the function to be. So looking at the first one, this is a positive x squared, so positive number. So you're going to expect a smiley face. This is negative x squared. It's going to be sad face. Negative x squared again, negative bank account, it's sad face. Positive x squared, you're happy, like that. Now the y-intercept for each of the functions is just a number by itself at the end. So to write it as a point, this is going to be 0 minus 3. That's your y-intercept. This will be 0 minus 13. This would be 0, 17, your number by itself, and that's going to be 0, 7 as your y-intercept. So key take-homes from this lesson: where it crosses the x-axis, that's known as your root. Where it crosses the y-axis is your y-intercept, and you can find that by just a number at the end of the function. And then the shape, it's going to be positive with a smiley face if it's positive x squared, and it's going to be negative with a sad face, negative bank count, if it is negative x squared. That's all for lesson 1.9, our introduction to quadratic functions. Thanks for watching Leaving Cert Plus. I'll see you again in lesson 1.10.
If you like this video, you'll love our notes. You can get some for free in the link in the description of this video.